After the disappointment that was the Redmi Note 6 Pro, Xiaomi recently unveiled the Redmi Note 7 in China. And well, this is the brand new Redmi Note 7. So what are you waiting for? Let's take a look at the Redmi Note 7. Hey guys, this is Rupesh from bwom.com and this is your first look at the brand new Redmi Note 7, which looks quite interesting, right? Well, before we talk about the Redmi Note 7, let me tell you that this video has been sponsored by Bank Bazaar, which is your one-stop solution for all your banking needs, including credit cards and a lot more. I'll talk more about Bank Bazaar at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. Now, let's talk about the brand new Redmi Note 7. So this is the new Redmi Note 7, and unlike the Redmi Note 6 Pro, this is a phone that brings some major upgrades. There's a lot of changes it brings, but right off the bat, let me just say that this is a striking looking smartphone. It's honestly stunning. And it's without a doubt the most good looking smartphone ever in the Redmi Note series. Gone is the huge notch, the dull metal design, and the bad looking antenna lines. The Redmi Note 7 has a new teardrop notch, a glass back, and the trendy gradient finish, all of which give the phone a very premium look. Just look at it next to the Redmi Note 6 Pro and the Mi A2. The Note 7 is in a different league altogether when it comes to the looks. I mean, even when put next to the Zenfone Max Pro M2 and the Realme 2 Pro, the Redmi Note 7 shines through with its real glass back, if you know what I mean. Anyway, along with the new glass back, the Note 7 also features the teardrop notch, which is definitely less intrusive than the other notches. And while there's still the chin here, I like the front of the Redmi Note 7. And the new notch means the display here is bigger. The Note 7 has a 6.3-inch IPS LCD display with Gorilla Glass 5, and it seems like a great display. Now, I haven't really spent a lot of time with the Note 7, but so far I like the display on the Note 7. It's crisp, it's bright, and the colors are good. So yeah, the design on the new Redmi Note 7 works big time, and it's not like the design sacrifices anything. There's the fast fingerprint scanner on the back, the IR blaster and headphone jack on the top, a tiny notification LED at the bottom of the front, and look what we have here at the bottom, the USB-C port. Yes, we finally have the USB-C port in a Redmi phone, which means faster data transfers and faster charging. This in itself is a big positive really, and you know what? While there's no IP rating here, Xiaomi's CEO, Li Jun, recently revealed that the design here has watertight seals for the buttons, the ports, the SIM tray and the 3.5mm jack. So it should be fairly water resistant too. Well, we splashed some water on the phone and it was fine, so I guess it should be fine. Okay, so the changes in the design front of the Redmi Note 7 are huge, but moving on to another major change, and that's on the camera front. The Redmi Note 7 packs in a massive 48-megapixel f1.8 sensor along with a secondary 5-megapixel depth sensor. Now the 48-megapixel here is the Samsung ISOCELL GM1 sensor, and so far the photos that it takes are pretty impressive, be it the usual photos or the portrait mode photos. Take a look. So as you can see, most of these photos have great detail, and I definitely like them. Let me just compare a few shots with the Redmi Note 6 Pro, where you'll notice that the colors of the Note 7 photo and the details are a lot better. Now if you're wondering, the Note 7 in the auto mode takes 12-megapixel photos, but you can shoot 48-megapixel photos with the Pro mode. And I'm sure you have a lot of questions here. Like, how does the phone have a 48-megapixel camera when the Snapdragon 660 does not support it? Is the Redmi Note 7 48-megapixel camera a gimmick? Is the 48-megapixel camera on the Note 7 fake? Well, don't worry, we have a separate video coming up on the Redmi Note 7's 48-megapixel camera where we'll answer all your questions, so stay tuned. Now, let's continue with the video. Okay, so on the video front, our Chinese Redmi Note 7 does not have support for 4K video recording, but there's 1080p at 60 FPS support and 1080p at 120 FPS support, so that's pretty nice. Anyway, here's a video sample from the Note 7, which looks stable thanks to EIS and has pretty good video quality. Now, all that is fine, but on the selfie front, there's a bit of a downgrade. Now, dual cameras here, of course, and the Note 7 comes with a 13-megapixel f2.0 camera, which does seem like a downgrade from the Note 6 Pro's 20-megapixel camera. Having said that, the selfies from the Note 7 look really nice and slightly better when compared to the Note 6 Pro, so as they say, megapixels don't really matter. Overall, the cameras on the Redmi Note 7, especially the 48 megapixel camera on the back, seems super impressive. But yeah, it's still early days and I'm still testing things out. Anyway, the Redmi Note 7 also brings major upgrades under the hood. The Redmi Note 7 features the Snapdragon 660 processor, which is arguably the best processor in the sub 15,000 price range right now. With up to 6GB RAM and 64GB storage. We have the 6GB RAM variant here, and take a look at the benchmark scores from the Redmi Note 7. As you can see, the benchmark scores here are better than the likes of the Zenfone Max Pro M2 and the Realme 2 Pro, both of which have underclocked Snapdragon 660 processors. So the benchmark scores of the Redmi Note 7 are great, but when it comes to real-world performance, usual day-to-day usage and gaming have been pretty good. Yeah, it's too early to judge, but if the Note 6 Pro and the Note 5 Pro are any indication, things should be fine. Apart from all these major changes, the Redmi Note 7 is pretty much the same as the Redmi Note 6 Pro, and that's not a bad thing really. The battery is the same fairly huge 4000 mAh battery, which has been pretty impressive on the Note 4, the Note 5 Pro and the Note 6 Pro. So I'm positive. And now there's support for 18-watt fast charging. That is great, but in China the phone comes with the usual 10-watt charger in the box. But there is an option to get the 18-watt fast charger bundled with the box by paying an extra of 10 yuan, which is roughly 100 rupees, and I think that's fair. And hopefully Xiaomi will bring that offer to India as well. Anyway, when it comes to the software, the Redmi Note 7 has MIUI 10 on board with Android Pie, and it's the usual MIUI with all the features you need. There's Face Unlock, which is fast and so far works really well. There are the MIUI navigation gestures, which I definitely like better than Android Pie's native gestures, so that's pretty good as well. Well, that was a good look at the new Redmi Note 7, and honestly, this phone has really impressed me so far. And I really think that this should have been the Redmi Note 6 or the Redmi Note 6 Pro. It just looks like Xiaomi really upped their game after seeing the disappointing response to the Redmi Note 6 Pro. I mean, yes, I'm yet to test the Redmi Note 7 extensively, but the phone is well on course to become the next budget smartphone king. Just think about it. Premium glass design, teardrop notch display, a 48 megapixel camera, the Snapdragon 660 processor. What else do you need for 1000 yuan, which is around 10,000 rupees? And mind you, this is the Redmi Note 7. The Note 7 Pro is set to coming with an even faster Snapdragon 675 processor and the better Sony IMX586 48 megapixel sensor. So yeah, it's pretty clear that the Redmi Note series is back with a bang. But yes, we still don't know the Indian price of the phone. We still don't know if the 48 megapixel camera is as good as it seems. And yes, we are still testing things out. So while the Redmi Note 7 seems truly promising, we'll know if it's worth the hype in our full review, so stay tuned for that. Well, if you do plan on buying the Redmi Note 7 when it arrives in India, Bank Bazaar can make buying phones with a credit card a lot easier. Well, you just download their app, fill up some details like your contact information, if you have any existing credit cards, etc. And then Bank Bazaar shows you a bunch of cards you can choose from. You can pick whichever one you like and apply for one with zero paperwork, and that's pretty much it. So what are you waiting for? Download the Bank Bazaar app right now from the link in the description down below. Well, that was your first look at the new Redmi Note 7. So how do you like it? Tell us in the comment section below. Also, if you have any questions on the Redmi Note 7, just comment below and we'll make sure to answer them all in a full review. Well, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and share it with your friends who are waiting for the Redmi Note 7 to come to India. Lastly, subscribe to our channel for more amazing tech videos. Well, that's me signing off. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one.